Hello and welcome to the pitch side, and here we are, Pakistan winning the Tri-Nation and taking that trophy not so long ago. And to talk about this final and all other details around it, I've got my guests here in the studio, Bazil Khan to my left, and to his left at Pakistan head coach Mike Hesson. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We'll start with you, Mike. Would it be right to say all boxes ticked? You're all happy with overall? Let's start with South Africa, all white ball series, and then into the Tri-Nation.
Yeah, really pleased with the progress. Obviously, from a T20 perspective, we were tracking nicely. From a one-day point of view, we had a bit of work to do. So I think the fact we were able to, get the one-day side back on track, and then T20 side continuing to sort of improve heading into obviously the World Cup.
When you mentioned the World Cup, of course, I'm sure apart from the 15, you have other guys also in your radar. You feel, and you talk about the batting, of course, how they've gone about in the T20s, and you seem to be spoiled for choices over here. So that's a good case, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want as a coach. We've created opportunities for different people in different roles so that we have choices. And, that's ultimately what we want. Is we want a combination of players. We don't want the same types of players. So for us, it's getting the right combination, the right players that work together, knowing the conditions that we're likely to get in Sri Lanka.
Mike, whenever there's, recent past, whenever there's been a big sort of World Cup, just before the World Cup, there have been changes in the side. Do you right now feel that you've got the core players settled and sort of the 15, 20 players you've decided on who will play in Sri Lanka?
Oh, look, we're very close. I mean, we're 15 here. We've probably got, one or two others that'll come into the mix that have been out from injury or playing other cricket at the moment. So, and obviously we've got some players in form from the Shaheens as well that have been involved in all of our camps, and we're really pleased with their progress. So, unfortunately, Abdul Samad missed his opportunity here with, fracturing his finger just the day before the series started. So, look, we're very close to where we want to be. It's more about the combination that we want to go with.
Yeah, we're hearing about 3 plus 3, maybe 6 or 7 games before the World Cup. So at this moment, you're still saying that you still have eyes on people. So if say, you want somebody in, is that a decent amount of matches to get him prepared for the World Cup?
Oh, look, we won't be bringing in players that haven't played a huge amount heading into a World Cup. I mean, we've spent the last sort of 6 to 8 months getting the team to where it is now. It's more about contingencies. I mean, we've all seen how injuries occur leading up to a World Cup, making sure you've got pecking orders in case somebody gets injured. You don't have to change the whole structure of your team. So, we've spent a lot of time around that. Earlier on in the series or earlier on in the year where we tried a few different people, knowing that they might not have been the number one choice, but if we had injuries later on, we knew that we'd be able to bring them in with sort of at the drop of a hat.
Let's talk about Pindi and the surface out here for the Tri-Nation. We've been talking to the players and they say it's not the typical Pindi surface. Was that a deliberate effort just to test yourself? Is something that you've just worked upon and said, okay, it is what it is?
Oh, look, we wanted to play on surfaces that turned. Obviously, heading to the World Cup, that would be an ideal scenario. But that's really hard to do when you can't grow grass. And the time of year and the fact that it's cold and there's a lot of dew. So I think the ground staff did incredibly well. Only 2 pitches for the whole Tri-Series to get, and it was really only the pitch today that turned excessively. Outside of that, there was a bit on offer. They actually all seamed, which I guess, when it's, 2 or 3 or 4 degrees, the ball's always going to dent the surface and just seam. So that was always a challenge, and one that we potentially, might get in Sri Lanka.
Also, now it's very exciting that Pakistan for the first time has 2 mystery spinners in the mix, and Usman Tariq obviously got that hat-trick. Is there a scenario where you think that you can play them 2 in tandem?
Look, you can. I mean, they would have to be extreme conditions. I mean, the beauty of having Saim Ayub, and Hassan Nawaz, Mohammad Nawaz, who are going to be in your side anyway. Whether you've also got someone Aliaga there if the ball is turning. So whether you think you need 5 spinners, is something that it would have to be extreme conditions. But the fact that we've always got the option of playing a mystery spinner, we could bring either of them out at any time, depending on the opposition, is exciting for us.
Now we've talked about the Pakistan team. Let's go to ICC. The previous game, where Fahim Ashraf got that inside edge onto the pad, the camera cut straight to you, and you were very disappointed. Yes, the rule hasn't changed, but why the extreme reaction? I think you don't like the rule at all.
Oh, it's been flawed for years. I mean, I think we saw it in a World Cup semi-final where there was a ricochet off a pad. It went for 4. It was given out. You know, the semi-final changed in the World Cup. So it's happened so many times where, you know, there are options that you can look at in terms of changing it. So I just think that the ICC have to seriously look at how they can do that, because another world event could well be decided by a flawed rule or law of the game that needs to be changed, in my view.
Not probably the place and time for you to decide this, but since you've got to play Sri Lanka and Australia before the World Cup, talking about the batting order and the flexibility that is available to you, there's been chat about Fakhar Zaman batting at 5 and even at 7 in one of the games, and he's somebody who gives you that flexibility, or you feel that he's the best in that position right now for you?
Well, we saw his ability to finish. You know, having another left-hander in there who's good against spin is important, and it's a combination of players that you want at certain times. So. You know, we've got with Bubba coming in at 3, it provides an opportunity in the middle. You know, Fakhar brings huge power. He can hit the ball from ball 1. I mean, 7 was more the fact we were looking to provide opportunity for others rather than the fact he's likely to be at 7. So, you know, he's highly experienced and he complements the players around him, which is important.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Oh,
just before we go, I'm slightly disappointed that you're struggling with the weather. Kiwi, you got to do better with that. No, that's not on.
No, fair play. It's a beautiful place, Islamabad. Well, this is Pindi, obviously, but it's cold.
Anyway, congratulations on the Tri-Nation win, and of course, we'll hope to see you in about a month's time again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, time for us to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have Russell Arnold joining us, and we'll chat more about Sri Lanka's performance today. Welcome back to Pitchside. We're talking about the final, which Pakistan won against Sri Lanka by 6 wickets, and we've got Russell Arnold here. Russell, I could clearly see the disappointment on you an hour ago when you saw the side 80 for 1 after 10 overs, and then they nosedive to 33 for 9 in the next 9.1 overs. Just run us through, what do you feel went wrong there?
Well, assessing the conditions, playing accordingly. You got to change your goals. That Sri Lanka didn't do. Okay, starting off looking for 170, seeing that pitch, I thought that was a fair call, 160, 170. But at the end of the power play, you felt 180 because the way the ball came on, it was all faster bowlers who bowled. Spin came on from the 7th. By the 10th over, it was quite obvious that the ball's turning. That this pitch, even with the dew, will not get any better, that there will be turn on offer. So you got to now make sure you bring those bowlers into the game. So you grind your way to 160. At that stage, from 81 for 1 at the 10th over, you will anyway get there if you play it smart. But after the break, Sri Lanka went hard. They went as if they still needed 180, 190. And the wickets kept falling. Since they were not working the ball and keeping that scoreboard moving, the pressure built. Pakistan, they started taking the pace off. They were brilliant. The spinners, the way they controlled that situation was outstanding. Unacceptable, 9 for 33, even though the ball was turning and it was tougher.
How would you read that? Do you feel that after the 10 overs with 80 runs on the board, they were targeting 160 plus and they just kept on focusing on that, and just in no time they lost 9?
Yeah, absolutely. Even after that, if you lose a couple of wickets, you lose 3 wickets, after that you should look at, okay, we can't really get to 180, maybe 150, maybe 140. I think 150 would be challenging.
Right.
But Pakistan, all throughout the Tri-Series, they found a way. Barring that one game, they've been the side to beat. And Nawaz has been the MVP since he's come back into the side. This year especially, he's been fabulous with the ball, with the bat in the field. And they've got so many options with spin. It's quite surprising. We're talking on air and off air with Russell about Pakistan having options with a lot of spin. Sri Lanka, who normally have a lot of part-timers and a lot of frontline spinners who can wreak havoc, they sort of did not have that many options, which was almost reverse. Pakistan having a lot of options, where Sri Lanka they were looking for options in terms of having spinners.
When you speak of that, you feel that Hasaranga needs another partner. Tikshana is there, yes, but recent times has not really been penetrable.
He's been really flat for me. The wickets early is one thing, but then again, is he being a threat? Batters are playing him easy. So that's a big miss where Sri Lanka have to now start looking for someone who can fill in there. But in terms of team balance and options that are available for this type of conditions, now you're talking Sri Lanka, but that's where you're going next for the T20 World Cup too. The personnel and options Pakistan have, perfect. But Sri Lanka are struggling in that aspect. They just have the 4 frontline bowlers. Even Shanaka is a bit bits and pieces seamer. And even with the batters, they don't have that quality option. Pawan Ratnayaka might have got 2, but he's never bowled. And he's not an option, really. You can't go into the World Cup thinking he's your all-rounder.
So what is your real assessment of today's last 9.5 overs that they batted? I mean, if there was a decision made at halfway mark that let's go after them, and if it didn't work, it seemed like it just became a stampede. They couldn't reverse that. We saw a few moments where you had Sanath Jayasuriya trying to point them out to play the spinners off and wait for the seamers.
Panic creeps in, and then strange things happen. And when spinners are bowling, game goes very quickly. You look up, because the overs are gone. So it causes issues. But Sikandar, you're talking about what you just saw. I've been seeing this happen time and time again over the last 2-3 years. They got to start playing spinners better, reading what's coming out of the hand, working out ways to maneuver the ball into gaps. Now, when that's not happening, they're trying to power. That's where you fall apart. It's about rhythm, batting rhythm, and it comes with soft hands to put away the loose ball or get your timing right, which carries the ball to the fence. Not total power when the conditions get tougher like this.
When you look at Pakistan, and we heard Mike Hesson saying, yes, maybe boxes are being ticked right now, but personally, what do you feel? The road to the World Cup, like every other team, Pakistan still has people on the bench. There was a lot of talk about Hassan Nawaz. Samad, of course, is injured. And then you have other options available. What do you feel? This 11 seems to be your best choice, and there is room for, of course, more injections.
Well, like the coach said, I don't think that they've absolutely nailed down everyone right now. They're very close, but they haven't. And the other option here is that the structure of the side is that they want to bat deep. Every time they make the 11, they want to bat deep. So I asked him if both the spinners, the mystery spinners, could play together, and the answer you got was maybe not, because they want all-rounders and they want batting very deep, which is interesting, because the other game, which Sri Lanka won, Pakistan lost wickets up front. They weren't able to chase, but if you bat so deep, then you should be able to get over the line if you lose wickets up front, because your onus is batting deep. So you're not getting another specialist bowler in, so that you have all-rounders that can do the job, and you bat till almost number 9. So I think that's, in my personal opinion, that's overkill, but that's the way, the structure of the side that Pakistan are playing with and will play with, because this is what they've decided on, and they've carried it on since this management has come through. And I think till the World Cup, they'll play exactly like this.
I don't have a problem with the balance, Bazid. I'll tell you why. Because Mohammad Nawaz is batting at 7. Now, he's a frontline spinner as well as a bowler. So you have your 5 leading bowlers for these type of conditions, or even more helpful conditions that you'll come across in Sri Lanka. But how do you get that guy in? I like the wrist spinners, what we saw of them in the ODIs. But the options are still strong, though.
All right. Okay, gentlemen, it's time for us to wrap up, and Pakistan next would be probably in about, 5 weeks' time, we'll be coming to Sri Lanka.
Yeah, come on. Come over.
So they'll be over there, and we hope that we have a very, very good contest. I think they're playing 3 T20s before the start of the World Cup and before they play Australia. Once again, I hope your stay has been comfortable here in Pakistan. Russell, thank you, and always a pleasure to have you here. Bazid, thank you very much for all your opinion and the commentary. Here we are. So all of you at home, we also hope that you've enjoyed our coverage. There'll be more action in about, second week of January if Pakistan takes the field again. Until then, you take care of yourself. Have a wonderful year. We'll see you in 2026.